Psalm 121, also known as the Psalm of Protection and Safety, is a favorite among Christians. It's one of the most quoted psalms in sermons, speeches, and books. It's also a popular choice for tattoos and other forms of body art. Once you read it a few times, though, it begins to feel familiar. How many more times will this psalm be quoted? How many more tattoos will it inspire? This psalm has been so influential because it says something important about God and His faithfulness to us as His people. But what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? Let's unpack this excellent psalm together. What does Psalm 121 KJV mean? Psalm 121 is a psalm of trust. It is a psalm about safety, security, and feeling protected. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved, he that keepeth thee will not slumber. This psalm is about finding safety in God instead of looking for safety in other people or things. This psalm is about trusting God instead of trusting in your own strength or abilities. Psalm 121 is about knowing that God is your protector and that His protection is always available to you. This psalm is about finding safety in God instead of looking for safety in other people or things. How to find safety in God? If you want to find safety in God, you have to begin by recognizing that everything you have comes from Him. Everything you have, your health, your job, your money, your relationships, is a gift from God. Do you realize that? You also have to recognize that God is sovereign. He is in control of everything and can work all things together for good. Again, do you realize that? Do you believe it? The protection of God is always available to you. God is your protection, and His protection is always available to you. That doesn't mean that you won't face any dangers. In fact, you will face dangers because you are human. But you don't have to fear those dangers. Why? You don't have to worry that you won't make it through the dangers you face because God is your protection. He will keep you safe and help you survive whatever dangers come your way. Don't be afraid of what you don't know or what you can't see. Instead, trust in God's protection. You don't have to run and hide to be safe. One of the ways people try to find safety is by running and hiding. They believe that they have to withdraw from their lives. They think they have to close themselves off from the world in order to be safe. That isn't what Psalm 121 is about. It isn't about running and hiding. The protection of God is about sheltering you and keeping you safe in every area of your life. You can have a rich, full life and still be protected by God. In fact, God wants you to have a rich, full life. He doesn't want you to close yourself off and be isolated from everyone and everything around you. God wants you to be involved. Dwelling in God's shelter is good for your soul. One of the ways you can trust God and find safety in Him is by living in His shelter. You don't have to run away from the world. You don't have to withdraw from your life and relationships. Instead, you can live in God's shelter. God's shelter is His presence and His protection. It's His love for you and His promises. Living in God's shelter is good for your soul. It's good for your heart, your mind, and your emotions. It's good for your whole being. It's good to spend time in God's presence and in His company. It's good to pour out your heart to God and pour His love into your heart. Summing up. When you understand the meaning of Psalm 121 KJV, the psalm becomes more than just words on a page. It becomes a message that God wants you to hear and understand. It becomes a message that you want to share with others. That's because when you see the meaning in Psalm 121, you see yourself in the psalm. You recognize that God is speaking directly to you. You see that Psalm 121 is for you.